G'day everybody and welcome to another video on the channel. This is another off the water one. I did the boat walkthrough and you guys really seemed to like that one. Had a heap of good feedback, so thought I'd do another video in the shed just talking about my gear and what I use. And what I'm going to do this one is the tackle box tour of my Murray cod fishing tackle box. This is pretty much everything I take on a Murray cod fishing trip and all the lures that I think are great for Murray cod fishing. So hopefully after you watch this one you got a fair idea of the lures that I take on a trip, what I think are really worthwhile and what I think are great Murray cod lures and how to use them. I'll run through how and what scenario I use each lure. So to start off, I'll start off by saying the tackle box is a Versus 3070. These are made in Japan. Best tackle boxes in the world if you ask me. Super tough, really well designed, really strong, great tackle boxes. They're now available at most good tackle stores in Australia. And the part that I really like about this tackle box is it has two levels. So it's got a smaller level up the top with the see-through lid, little latches on the front here, and then latches on the bottom for a bigger level that I keep all my bigger lures in. And it's got a handle here as well to carry it. Just a really well designed tackle box. You can fit a lot of big lures in it. You use big lures for most of the time with the Murray cod. So yeah, you want a tackle box that can hold some big lures. But the way I'll break it down is I've kind of got the two tiers of the tackle box, and in the top here are kind of my blind casting, smaller river type lures. The stuff that I've used for cod for many years. So start off here, I've got the divers. This is a Lego head shallow diver, really snag proof, really good for Murray cod fishing. I've got the size 1 stumpy there, famous lure for Murray cod fishing, great for in the shallower rivers where there's plenty of snags. And then I've got a Ballista Dino there. That's just a medium diver as well, and a Samaki Reddick DS80. So all these are deep divers with a lot of action. Well, some of them are not so deep, but they're kind of crash divers. So as soon as you cast these out, they really start getting a bit of depth, a lot of action, a lot of wobble to them, and they're really good option in your smaller rivers, dirtier water scenarios where there's shallower water, heaps of snags. These are kind of the go-to. You know, they get down, they bounce over timber really well, they float back up out of the way of the timber, and they get in the strike zone of the Murray cod, and they certainly love eating them in the rivers. So I've always got a few hard bodies in the box. You never know what scenario you're going to come across, but definitely when I'm heading out on the rivers, got to have a few hard bodies in the box, and they are a few of my favorites. I'll then move on to the spinnerbait section. These are probably the #2 lure that you got to have in your tackle box when you're fishing the rivers. Hard bodies and spinnerbaits are kind of the 1 and 2. Really good options here. This is my favorite. This is a Spinnerbaits 1 ounce beast. It's got rigged with a 7-inch Irukandji. This is the double arm or the twin spin. This is my favorite spinnerbait model. Caught a lot of really big fish on this over the years in the rivers, and even the impoundments, they like these as well. My favorite part about it is just how these two blades hit together, and you got like a super slow sink, and it looks really good on the sink. The fish will actually eat these on the sink. And yeah, the 1 ounce twin spin go-to for those bigger rivers, bigger Murray cod. If you're chasing meter plus fish, this is my spinnerbait to use. Really love those ones. Also I've got in here is single arm. These just gather a bit more depth if you're fishing a bit deeper water. This one's got a 7-inch Irukandji on it as well. Great option. The black blade has been really good over the years as well. That's just another spin right there. Gage taught me about the black blade can be really good in clear water situations. But yeah, definitely a big single arm. That's a great lure for bigger Murray cod as well in the bigger rivers. But if you're not always chasing bigger fish, I've always got the few smaller, like 5/8 spinnerbaits in the box as well. That's one without a plastic with a willow blade. That's one with a couple of Colorado blades and a plastic. These are great options for your smaller rivers, you know, the shallow flats at Lake Mulwala, places where there's a lot of smaller cod. You want to be really snag proof, get in those snags, work them to bits. These are great options, little spinnerbaits. But when you're not using a spinnerbait, you still want a bit of flash, a good presentation. This is another great option. This here is a big chatterbait or a Spinnerite grunter, 1 ounce. That's got a 9-inch Irukandji on it, nice big profile. This is something that I'd throw in the bigger rivers for a big Murray cod. Quite snag proof because it's got that chatterbait blade, got a lot of action, good dirty water lure, like the Murray River down at Mildura or whatever. This is a great lure to be cast and blind casting with. Even in the impoundments, great lure to be blind casting with. Always got a big mumbler in the box. Then we'll probably go on to some more less conventional Murray cod style lures. This is kind of stuff that I'll use in the clearer rivers. Dr. Shad's there. I've got a 150mm and a 125mm. Great cheap soft plastic that you can throw in the snags. You can fish off the bank. If you lose one, it isn't going to break the budget, but they certainly catch the fish really well. Murray cod love eating them, especially in the clear water. Great option. Always got a few Dr. Shads in the boat. Great option blind casting and with the live technology, but definitely Upper Murray, one of my go-tos. Then I have a 50-gram Samaki Vibalicious. This is just for if I end up wanting to fish vertical somewhere. You know, if I'm land-based fishing, I'm fishing a really deep hole that I want to kind of fish the bottom of, I'll use one of these. If I'm fishing out the boat and I think there's cod below the boat, or cod in deeper water, I'll use one of these. Great kind of bait fish profile, really unique, gets down deep really fast, so you can fish it vertical, and it works really well. Then in the top of the box here, I've got a lure that is a lure that I'd use both blind casting and on the live sonar. I've actually caught a metre plus fish on this on the live sonar at Lake Mulwala. This is a Fishcraft Dr. Glide 120mm. This is a great option if you're fishing over top of weed. So it's a floating glide bait. It just gets below the surface, has a really good action. I would use this in the really clear rivers where the fish can come up and see it, or I'd use it over top of weed beds is the main thing. Over top of weed beds is a really good option because it floats up out of the weed if it gets too deep. I caught the fish in Lake Mulwala fishing over top of a weed bed with it, with using the live sonar as well. That's just, you know, I don't use that a lot for Murray cod, that's for sure, but it's something I got in the box in case I come across a certain scenario like a shallow weed bed that I think's got fish on it. And then the last lure on the top of the box here, this is just a paddle curl tail soft plastic grub, just something a little bit different that I can fish vertical as well. Kind of always got something like that in the box, just in case I want to try something totally different to what I normally use. But generally fishing the rivers, the spinnerbaits and the diving lures are going to do most of my subsurface fishing. They're really snag proof. I don't like getting snagged, so you can fish a lot of water really fast with them. I've also got a bunch of decoy trebles in the top of the tackle box there. They are just in case if I burr any trebles over during my session, I can replace the treble and get straight back into it. But that's kind of most of my blind casting river lures that I have in the top of the box. And the other blind casting river lures that everybody knows I love to use are the surface. So I've got a bunch of surface in here as well. I've always got a Blister Hunchback 90. Great lure for the smaller rivers, fishing off the bank, smaller water. Caught a heap of good fish on these over the years. And as you can see here, I have a few different options in the tackle box ready to go. Just a few different colours. Blister Hunchback 90. Great surface lure for the rivers and walking around. And then of course I've got the Tremor here, wake bait bib and the paddler bib. Tremor is the lure that I've caught the most metre plus Murray cod on by far. Caught a lot of metre plus fish on these, and it's my go-to big surface lure for big Murray cod. If I really got to catch a big one, that's what's going on. Works great in the rivers and the dams. And here I just got a little bit of a different one. This is Nalla Lures Toxic Shock. This is a wake bait style surface lure, silent. I got this one in the box because they really haven't been liking the big paddler on the live scope lately, so I really want to get out, cast this one at a few big fish and see how it goes. It's a lot more subtle, got that kind of nice wake bait rolling action on the surface, and I think if a big one sees it, it's going to absolutely crunch it. And I haven't fished a wake bait for a while, so I'm really keen to show that to a few fish. But yeah, that pretty much brings me to the end of the surface lures in my box, and they are great options with the live sonar or without the live sonar. Definitely recommend, if you're getting yourself a Murray cod tackle box, you have to have a few surface lures in it for those prime time periods of dusk and dawn. Definitely need those in there with the spinnerbaits and the divers. And then the rest of the bottom of the tackle box here is just kind of my big soft plastics and different style lures that I will use when I am fishing on the live sonar. So here I've got a Spinnerbaits swim jig with the big curl tail grub on it. This is a 1/2 ounce weight, big curl tail grub, something kind of totally different. Not a lot of people throw the curl tails, so always got that one in the box for a little bit of a different presentation if then the fish aren't liking the paddle tails. And then we go into the big paddle tail soft plastic swim jigs, kind of the go-to on the live technology. This one's got the big irukandji on it. That is a 11 inch, and here I've got right down to a couple of 7 inches. 9 inches really good as well. But yeah, all the Spinnerbaits swim jigs, great presentation for Murray cod on the live scope. You got the paddle tail, and then you got the movement of that skirt as well, which really helps to trigger bites, especially if the fish follow all the way to the surface and you have to stop. You got that little bit of movement of the skirt. Got some more unnatural colors there, some bright colors for dirty water, and then I've also got like this redfin pattern here, really natural presentation for the clear water impoundments like Eildon and Blowering. So yeah, the general consensus with me and Murray cod lures is the dirtier the water, the brighter or the more contrasting lure I'll use, and the clearer the water, the less contrasting, kind of more natural presentation I'll go for. That's what I go for with color. And here the final lure I've got in the box is just a Dark Side Flies fly jig. This is a lure that I've been using a lot over the last 12 months. Never really used a fly jig before, and then caught a couple of really good fish on the Dark Side Flies fly jig and other fly jigs, and yeah, they become a little bit of a go-to on the live sonar. You can get it right in front of the fish, twitch it, and they do get bites when the fish aren't looking at the soft plastics. So that's another really good option to have in the box, which I always do have in the box. So as you can see, pretty simple tackle box for me. I don't overcomplicate it, take too many lures. Obviously I've always got some different lures coming in and out of here, but as a general tackle box, if you want to just start Murray cod fishing and you think you need a few good options, I think if you had kind of all these options, you would have a really good tackle box set up to go out, find some Murray cod, and yeah, definitely get into some fish. A lot of these lures are fairly cheap as well, compared to some of the other lures that are on the market. Some of them are a little bit expensive, but most of them are kind of affordable for everybody, and great options. But as part of this video, I've had my sponsors jump on board, and we're going to give a whole setup tackle box away to you guys. So right here we got a Versus 3080. This is the bigger model than I've got here. I do have a Versus 3080 that I have rigged up full of gear as well, but we're going to give away this brand new tackle box full of Murray cod lures, and all you have to do is comment on this video to go in the running. So it's going to be open for 2 weeks, and all you have to do is comment on the video. You go in the draw if you're an Australian resident, so you have to be an Australian resident, comment on this video, subscribe to the channel, and you go in the draw to win this tackle box full of all this awesome gear. So that's something I always have in my tackle box as well. Samaki fishing shears for cutting all your line, they're going in, brand new pair of those. We got a big Spinnerbaits single arm spinnerbait with a 7 inch irukandji, that's going in. We got a 5/8 brand new Spinnerbaits spinnerbait, and a brand new packet of decoy trebles. These are the ones that I use on all my cod lures, the S82s, heavy duty 2.0s, for changing out any hooks that you want to change out. We've got a Ballista Tremor in Galar, Ballista Tremor, and then we got a Ballista Hunchback there in Cormorant, that's going in the tackle box as well. This is the leader that I always have in my tackle box, and I've been using for Murray cod lately. This is the X-Braid Tight Knot FC Absorber in 60 pound, brand new 30 meter spool of that. That's going in the giveaway. Spinnerbaits swim jig, talked about these on the live sonar and even in clear water. If you don't have live sonar in the clear water, lakes or rivers, absolute great option. Spinnerbaits swim jig going in there. We got a dark side fly here, dark side fly going in the giveaway, pink and black one. And then we have the Fishcraft Dr. Shad, one of my all-time favorite Murray cod lures. That is going in the giveaway as well. So gonna put all this stuff inside the tackle box for you guys, and I'll post it out to you. So all you have to do is comment on the video, leave me a funny comment or a good comment, but it doesn't matter, it'll be a random draw anyway. It's all going into a random draw, and one lucky guy will win this in time for cod opening this year. So I just want to say massive thank you to my sponsors for jumping on board and giving us all this stuff that I can give away to you guys. Just as a little thanks to them, make sure you jump on Instagram and you're following Versus Australia on Instagram for the tackle box, Ballista Australia for the ballista gear, Spinnerbaits lures, X-Sprayed Australia, Fishcraft for the Dr. Shad, dark side flies, and also the Samaki page. Absolute legends for jumping on board and giving me that stuff to give away to you guys. Can't wait to see who wins it. That pretty much gives me a wrap up of everything that's in my Murray cod box, guys. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Make sure you subscribe if you like the channel, and leave a comment below on what else I should do as like an in-shed talk. Had a few people say I should talk about some of the retired lures on the wall. Maybe I'll do that one next. Maybe you got a better idea, but leave a comment, let me know. Good luck in the giveaway, guys. Thanks for watching the channel, appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next video. New video every 2 weeks.